DreamWorks, you always manage to deliver something. But what did you deliver with the Croods? Sorry on these reviews being so late, by the way. Anyway, the Croods had a nice intro, but why were they using marching band music? Really? It sounded like a sports movie. I noticed while there wasn't much pop, depth and clarity was great as far as 3D goes, and the smoothness of the animation, and the motion. It was simply amazing. Really though, it doesn't pop out at all. There's not much 3D to this 3D. The creature design is also very creative, and thought through, for that matter. Like the dragons. So if you liked How to Train Your Dragon for like the creature design and the character design, hey, same creators. DreamWorks. Gotta love it. But in the cave, the story starts out too simplistic, and it starts to lose it. But it has its comedic moments, especially as Eep, which is the main character, meets Guy and Belt. I didn't expect to see them so soon, honestly, and I didn't expect it to focus on Guy so much. Especially if you ever saw the teaser trailer. You really got to see the theatrical one first. But he is seen in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I thought he'd only be shown after the cave was destroyed, but he actually shows up 5 minutes before the cave is destroyed. Well, 5 minutes into the movie, that is. The night before it's destroyed in the movie. But he's the only one who knows the world is ending. Okay. Still, that means he's actually the smart one in this movie. Anyway, Eve gets mad at her dad, which the trailers don't show. This is going to be one of those father, daughter, and actually Eve takes the whole family along with her. Father, and gets everyone on her side. Like, we have to go on this adventure. And the father is totally against that, and that's really what the focus of this movie is. Anyway, Eve gets mad at her dad, which the trailers don't show. I had rather hoped she would, for that matter, because this movie needed conflict, and this movie got conflict. It was just what we needed to spark the movie up. There were some things in here that were silly. Not just funny, they were silly. Like a whale out of water, still alive. See, the movie hits a snag until the guy re-enters the movie about 20-25 minutes in. It's comic then, but there's still no development. Guy being an advanced man rather than a full caveman. It's interesting, though, to have this caveman family and a caveman, but who's advanced. He's learning everything, and Eep is trying to be advanced, but she's not yet. Plus, there's also something else added in. As smart as he is, he also fears Eep's family because they are so much still stuck in the Stone Age. Another 10 minutes later, it's comic again, as the family tries to hunt. The movie's soundtrack, and I mean the background music, was too repetitive. I know that's not really something many people would care about, but it was funny in a cute way after that. But again, the plot development was minimal, really, until the end. Only Eep and Guy's relationship really develops during a moment where the music is greatly improved. Meanwhile, the father isn't compromising at all. I expected a slow trust increase, but not none. Truly, this was like How to Train Your Dragons. Brilliant, and now I'm going to go into a couple spoilers. It's brilliant how the family discovers everything before reaching the volcano. which is the destination the father wants to go through, because he thinks that he can find a new cave there. While Grug, one of while Grug can't even get through. Grug is that the father? Yeah, I think so. He can't even get through, ultimately requiring assistance for the first time in his life. Yeah, it is the father. Grug is the father. That's when he knows he's not able to protect his family as well as Guy is. And no need to say, this gets him all worked up. This is also where Greg decides he needs to have ideas, which is the focus of the movie. Guy keeps coming up with ideas. So he decides he needs to have ideas. And he does make attempts to keep Eep from going with Guy. Failure again and again, but it's funny for a few minutes. Really funny. Then it's back to being serious as Grog and Guy fight. I didn't see them getting stuck in tar. And I knew the resolution was going to come along. I didn't know what it was going to be, but it happened too fast. They were in tar for a few minutes, and then they got out. Because of, well, Guy. And I didn't know at this point, okay, does this mean there's a relationship, or are you guys still going to continue on with the rivalry? I also knew they'd get stopped before reaching the sun tomorrow. But as expected, it's overcome, but not in the way I thought. I mean, the father actually decides to let the family and Guy go, and when Guy offers for Grug to go ahead and jump across and join his family instead, Grug says, you know, you've got the ideas, you might be able to keep my family safer, and he throws him across the gorge. But of course, this is a kid's movie, and Grug has to find his way across. I wasn't sure if the giant cat would be tamed in this movie. I was pretty sure it would, but I wasn't sure for exactly. But this giant cat, one of the probably and arguably the best character in this movie. Not really a main focus, but a character nonetheless. So Grug ends up taming it and jumping across the gorge on it, and the family's all together, and happy ending. Of course, they had to put Grog back with the family. It's still a pretty good movie, though. I mean, it had its moments where it had trouble, but really good, so that's why I give it a good rating.